just incredible. Like, where are the police? Where is security? Where are these people? But just where is authority here? It is something I have never covered without any sign of enforcement, law enforcement, security whatsoever.
The radical extremists and far-left agitators are terrorizing college campuses, as you possibly noticed, and Biden's nowhere to be found. He hasn't said anything.
Donald Trump sounding off as universities crack down on anti-Israel agitators nationwide. Hundreds of NYPD entering Hamilton Hall at Columbia, clearing out the encampment and arresting hundreds of the radicalized Hamas youth who took over the building by force. Over in Cali, it was the gangs of UCLA, pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian protesters throwing punches and using sticks to beat the crap out of one another as others shot off fireworks. But despite the enforcement, Hamas University continues to launch new satellite campuses. Students at Fordham in New York set up tents today in the lobby. Mayor Eric Adams is blaming outside agitators for the chaos and claiming there's a movement to radicalize the youth.
There is a movement to radicalize young people, and I'm not going to wait until it's done and all of a sudden acknowledge the existence of it. This is a global problem that young people are being influenced by those who are professionals at radicalizing our children.
The mayor saying clearly professionals are behind this. And we've said this before. You see the well-produced signs, the brand new tents. There's a larger sponsor in this. Why hasn't the media even asked, like, Alex Soros, like, why haven't you threatened to cut off funding to any of the groups that are involved in this campus stuff? And how the media won't look into that, but they want to know the identities of the counter-protesters, but not who's behind the protests.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Mini Soros is definitely sponsoring this financially. Chris Wray at the FBI says they don't even monitor protests. Do you even believe that? Of course they monitor protests. They monitor like a half a dozen MAGA hat wearers. The history of protest is not like what we're seeing now. They used to protest apartheid, Vietnam, the Iraq War. They were directing their anger at the government. Now they're directing their anger at fellow students. They're intimidating them, they're harassing them, they're targeting them. Sometimes in UCLA, they're not even allowed to walk freely on campus. And now they're beating the pulp out of some people. If you're smart, and if you're the Biden administration, you just slash funding, because this is a Title IX violation. This is a civil rights violation. They're discriminating against a religious minority, and that's how you cut it down. Biden came out after 3 days of hiding, and he says we're going to import more Hamas refugees. And then he says we're going to pay off everybody's student loans. It's like he wants to lose the election. The police came out last night and says there are outside agitators who are known to law enforcement that have infiltrated this movement, and they're training students on how to take de-arrest tactics, on how to barricade themselves in.
Actually thinking about letting some Palestinian refugees in too. A White House spokesman confirming a CBS report about that with this. Since the beginning of the conflict, the United States has helped more than 1,800 American citizens and their families leave Gaza, many of whom have come to the United States. The best path forward is to achieve a sustainable ceasefire through a hostage deal that will stabilize the situation and pave the way to a two-state solution. President Biden has no plans to address this today. His schedule just has a campaign event on it, closed press, same as yesterday.
Republican senator speaking now on topic. Let's watch.
These criminals are chanting eliminationist slogans like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and globalize the Intifada. At Stanford, they wore Hamas headbands. At Princeton, they flew the Hezbollah flag. At Harvard, they ripped down the Stars and Stripe and replaced it with the Palestinian flag. At George Washington University, they called for the final solution and posted signs saying they wouldn't leave until Jews go back to their real homes. And look at some of the consequences. At Columbia, a rabbi had to tell students that the university was no longer safe for Jews. At UCLA, Hamas sympathizers blocked Jewish students from attending classes, and assaulted Jewish students. USC canceled its graduation out of fear of pro-Hamas riots. It's time to stop these anti-Semitic pro-Hamas mobs today. And if liberal college administrators won't take action, the mayors and the governors of these campuses should. And so should Joe Biden. When will the president himself, not his mouthpieces, condemn these hate-filled little Gazas? President Biden needs to denounce Hamas's campus sympathizers without equivocating about Israelis fighting a righteous war of survival. The State Department needs to yank the visas of foreign students in these little Gazas, and DHS needs to deport them. The Justice Department should investigate the funding sources behind these little Gazas, and the Department of Education needs to withhold funding for colleges that won't protect the civil rights of their Jewish students. Instead, Joe Biden is putting more pressure on Israel these days than he is on Hamas itself or on the pro-Hamas chapters on America's campuses. But I guess that's what we should expect from the leader of a Democratic Party that has let its anti-Semitic elements fester and grow for years. Another 4 years for Joe Biden means another 4 years of little Gazas all across America. And that's something I suspect the American people will keep in mind this November.
Pussy! Pussy NPC! NPC! No place in this world! Fuck you! Fuck you! Yo, why are you out here by yourself? Watch behind the Hey, stop! 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 Stop!
Look at this. Somebody is being beaten. Somebody is being beaten with a stick and punches in the middle of the lawn.
Don't do that, dude.
Somebody is being badly beaten at the bottom of that brawl right there. Look at that. Look at that. Somebody is being dragged and beaten in the front of that plywood wall. Just incredible. Like, where are the police? Where is security? Where are these people? Just where is authority here? It is something I have never covered without any sign of enforcement, law enforcement, security whatsoever. This has gone now on for over an hour and a half, and it is absolutely appalling, in my estimation, that we have not seen any response. I've just never seen it. You know, this may be a sign of things to come, or this may be what, society has become, but I have never seen it. In my career, I have never seen this level of violence without any response from any kind of law enforcement or authority whatsoever. Oh, look at that. Somebody just took a pallet to the head. You know, you're right. The plywood, the boards of plywood are moving up. They've been dislodged from that makeshift wall where they were set up with tripods almost, and now you can see them manually being moved up into the crowd of counter protesters, and you're seeing these scuffles break out one after another. Lots of very heavy sticks, very heavy barricades, scooters, all types of things being employed to inflict harm on the other side here.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
It's not about justice, it's not about agenda, it's not about mobilizing people, it's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.